Hey guys, so I am going to show you how I do my own acrylic nails at home. I don't use like super high quality products. I usually just use the Kiss brand. This is the stuff that you can get at Walmart or any kind of drugstore. They have this stuff. I just got this little kit because I already had a full-size kit and I just ran out of the monomer, so I just got this one. Just to be able to continue to do mine. I will be investing in some better, higher quality acrylics at some point, but so as you can see, I've already got my nails done. This one just had a little bit of lifting because I still do not have an acrylic primer, so I did get a little bit of lifting on this one, so I'm just going to redo it, and I thought it was a good chance to show you guys how to do it. So you want to make sure that your nails are clean and they're not super long, obviously, because I am going to be gluing a tip onto this nail. You can do acrylics with forms, although I've never tried that yet. It is something that I want to learn, but for now I just use the tips. So you're going to want one of these things. This is a cuticle pusher, and you want to make sure you push back all of your cuticles so that there is no dead skin around the nail, because if there is dead skin there, hopefully I'm in frame, if there is dead skin, it will cause more lifting of the acrylic. So make sure you push back the cuticle and get all the dead skin off of the nail bed here. Okay, so now that I've got it all cleaned off, what you want to do is size your finger to a nail tip. I'm using these ones I got at my local drugstore. Okay, so you're going to take your nail glue and put a little dot of it in the well of the nail, but you don't want to put too much because you're going to flood the nail. So just a little bit in there, and then glue it to the tip of your nail. And you want to try to make sure that there's no bubbles in there, obviously. And give that about 30 seconds or so to dry. Make sure the corners are pushed down nicely. And then once that's dry, you can start trimming it and filing it to the shape that you want. Cut mine about, hold on. Cut mine about there. Okay. It's pretty good. So then I'm just going to take my nail file, and because this is fake nails, I'm going to use a pretty gritty file. This is really dirty. I think this is a 180. I forget. I don't know. It said on the package that it was made for acrylic, so yeah, it's perfect. So I'm just going to go ahead and file this to match this shape, and I'll be right back. Okay. So I know it's kind of hard to see, but I've got the shape that I want. I also did pinch the tip a little bit because I wanted a little bit more of a C curve. I find these tips aren't quite as curvy as I want. So if you look down that way, you can see, oops, you can see it's got a nice C curve. So I've got the shape that I want. I've pinched it, and I'm going to take my file, and I'm going to very lightly go over where the tip meets my natural nail, but I'm not going to file my natural nail because I don't want to obviously damage my natural nail. So I'm just going to really lightly buff right where that nail tip meets my nail. And I don't want to take too much of it off because obviously that's the only section that nail tip has that's attached to my nail right now, is that one little tip. So if I take off too much, then it's going to not have enough strength to stay on. So yeah, Just gonna do that. Ignore my eczema. I know it's really bad. And at the same time, I'm also going to really lightly buff over the tip so that it's just scored a little bit. It takes away the shine so that the acrylic will stick to it better. So I'm just gonna very lightly go over the tip. I haven't even started yet, Rob. I haven't even opened the bottle yet. He has no idea what's happening. Okay, so there we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. Why? Why do you have to package things like this? Oh. Oh, well. Okay, so, as I said, the quality of these isn't obviously perfect. These brushes, to be honest, are not that great. I just haven't had the chance yet to invest in nice acrylic brushes, so this is what I got. So you got your brush. To be honest, these little files that they give you are it's just crap. You're better off to get good files. So I got my monomer and my acrylic powder. And I still have some powder left over from my first one, so I'll use that before opening this one. So, before I do anything, I'm gonna wipe over this with alcohol again to make sure that there is no dust or debris. Make sure you get under the nail as well. Hopefully I'm staying in frame here. Okay. All right, so make sure you have a glass dish or something. This is mine. Because you don't want to dip your brush straight into the monomer. If you go into the monomer bottle and then you're doing your nails and you go back in, you're just contaminating this whole thing. So you really want to pour some into a dish. I like to, hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. If you put the brush and pour it onto the brush, it will go right into your container and not spill down the side of this. And when you're doing your nails, you want to make sure that you press it into the bottom to get any bubbles out of your brush, or else you'll have bubbles in your nail. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're doing that. Get your powder ready. This is clear powder. All right. So it's kind of hard to figure out the ratio because there is like there's a sweet spot for how much liquid is in your brush and how much powder you pick up. If the ball that you pick up is too dry, your nail is going to be clumpy. If it's too wet, it's going to run all over the place and make a big mess. You want to really make sure that you don't get any acrylic on your cuticle. So it takes a bit of practice. I'm not a professional at all. I just, you know, this is just how I do it. So you wipe off one side, you dip 1, 2, 3. There's the ball. You can see that it's starting to absorb the liquid. And then I start by placing this. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. I like to place mine down here first and kind of press it up. Let it sit for a minute. And then just kind of pat it into place. Drag it down to the tip a little bit. Press, 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 press. You can also brush up this way if you need to. Wipe off your brush. Make sure your edges are clean. Okay, so that's the first ball. And you're gonna go back in, wipe away again. 1, 2, 3. That's not enough. And then this one I place kind of closer to the cuticle. Let it sit for a minute and then pat it. And like I said, you want to stay away from your cuticle. Swipe it down. If you get it too close to your cuticle, you just kind of brush it away as quick as you can. Swipe it down. If you need to, you can take one of these and just get in there. Make sure it's not in your cuticle. Now, depending on how long your nails are, you may need to do like 2 or 3 balls to get up to the cuticle. For this length, I'm pretty happy with 2. And then you just want to check over it. Look down this way, look this way, look that way. See what your shape is, see where you need to add more. With longer nails, you need to have a stress ball, so I'm going to add one more there. 1, 2, 3. And the stress ball goes kind of between the cuticle and the, sort of in the center of the nail bed. Brush it down. Pat it, flatten it. Check your shape, check all your sides. This is hard to do in camera. Oh, my hand looks so bad. Don't look at it. Keep getting little hairs from this brush into my nail, and that's why these are not the greatest. Okay. So if I look down the side here, you can see it's got the stress area okay, but it's kind of bumpy right here. I'm gonna add a tiny little bead right there. Just a little one. It's really just kind of about looking at your shape and seeing where you need more. Sorry, I'm just looking. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that. So now you just want to let this dry completely. You'll know it's dry when it makes a noise like that. If it makes like a thud noise, it's not dry. Okay, so it's not completely dry yet. It's still a little bit soft, but it's gone matte. So I'm just gonna pinch it a little bit more before it completely sets. It's still pretty wet. Okay, now I'll let it finish setting. Okay, so now that it's set, I'm going to take my nail file and I'm going to start filing the side walls first. Okay, once I'm happy with the side walls, then instead of going like this, you now bring it up like that and do the sides. And then you would buff over around the cuticle, being very careful not to scratch up and cut up your cuticle, obviously. Buff over the whole top to make it nice and even and not too bulky. And then you would do your paint and polish. So I'll come back after I'm done filing. Okay, so I'm done filing. I like the shape. I look down this way. It looks pretty good. I've got, you know, a decent stress area. And I've got a good C-curve-ish, not as much as I would like, but it's okay. So now I'm going to go over with a buffing file and just buff over the surface of the nail, just to smooth it out a little bit more so I don't have the big scratches from the file. And then you're good to paint.